God have never designed church to make a preacher rich. No preacher should get rich from preaching. You shouldn't get a car from preaching. You shouldn't get a house from preaching. You shouldn't be a millionaire from preaching. Jesus ain't getting rich from it. His apostles didn't get rich from it. That let me know that Jesus and his apostles was doing it right. They were not doing it the way these devils are doing it here in California and the rest of the world. The way they are doing it, preaching and church, is a worse racket than the mafia. The mafia is organized crime. They use the cleanest pizza shop as a front to mask their hypocrisy. Religion is organized crime. They use the synagogue, the church, and the mosque to masquerade their hypocrisy. The churches is the biggest multi-billion-dollar industry racket in the world. When Jesus walked this earth, he turned over tables. He tied into the scribes and Pharisees, called them hypocrites. These men today ain't turning over tables. They're setting up more tables to rob you out your money. Who would ever think a day will come that a preacher will not fear God at all? That he would get on public television and tell the world that the Lord told him it's time for a new plane. It's time for a new car.
Listen to him. Just know this, my people. And I'll say it for the last time. No, this is not the last time. I'll keep saying it. There is no prophet in Africa that God is communicating through. No man in Africa is hearing from God. No man at all. None of them have an idea of what God is saying today, because everything that God had to say, he said it long time ago in the Holy Bible. Anything else you hear from an African boy, girl, or anyone saying that God said, just know that it's a lie. God has absolutely no relationship with any man calling themselves a prophet. In this new dispensation, in this era, God does not recognize them. God does not know them. These are self-appointed. They called themselves. No one called them. Whatever that they are doing, it's just a cover-up for their true identities. Most of them are native doctors, are traditionalists, are ritualists. Before we go deeper, like they also say, can I go deeper? And you hear my gullible African brothers and sisters saying, go deeper, Papa. Papa, go deeper. Go deeper way. Young boys, 23, 24, 30-year-old boys, they have 80-year-olds out there calling them our Papa. A 30-year-old calling a 40-year-old, a 60-year-old, my son, my daughter. Do you see how broken this whole thing is? What is wrong with this system? In Africans, how did we get here? How did you allow yourselves to fall prey to these con artists? To these school dropouts, these weed smokers? These are weed smokers. I call them as they are. These are vagabonds. They have nothing to do with God. My anger towards them is they are using God as a proxy to carry out their criminology, to carry out their deceptions and manipulations. If they come and present themselves as native doctors and witch doctors as they are, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't care. Have you ever heard me talking about witch doctors and exposing native doctors I don't do that. I don't measure on that, because those ones, they've accepted that this is who they are, and they operate on their shrines without hiding, without pretending, without deceiving anyone. But these modern day ones, they are covering up their true identities with the church, with the Bible. They are wolves in sheep's clothing.